Good morning. You're welcome. Welcome back. We are starting week 2. Oh my gosh. This is such an absolute pleasure to be here with you in this time and really look at how we can fortify ourselves and nourish ourselves to be better selves in this process, in this path, in our journey in life. Well, and just with that, I just spend this morning just taking a look at what we've covered in the first week, and then sort of make a commitment to ourselves to carry on into week 2. Because one thing that I know for sure is that where we were a week ago and where we are today, if we've been practicing the elements that we've been speaking about, I would like to think that you're feeling a little calmer, enjoying more peace in your life, and certainly on the way to creating more bliss in your life. The major objective, living this life, if we're going to be here for any length of time, let's do it in bliss. And in order to do that, we really need to know what bliss is and how do we get there and define it for ourselves, because you know what, it's different for everybody. So we started out the week talking about our environments and our cellular health and why it's important, how to get there. And we looked at the beginning steps of deep diaphragmatic breathing, which comprises of 4 steps, being into the lower abdomen and then 2 steps higher. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we took a couple days getting there with that because it's not a generally that well known, and not everybody's doing it, and trying to incorporate it into our habits. We talked about habits, we talked about personal space, because you know what, with this isolation, we've got a lot of people that are directly involved in our personal space, and we're only human. And some of us don't have anybody in our personal space, which is also a really perhaps new experience in a way for extroverts to get energy is often with being with a collection of people. And for introverts, of course, they get their energy from being in their own personal space. But both need to find the balance with that. And we talked about our values, our personal values. I'm still sorry about that. I'm still setting up. I'm still on my phone, but I keep trying. So that's all the best I can do right now. So we talked about our values and defining our values. You know, what are your personal values? It's our birthright to have our own personal values. You know, mine and what I've shared with my daughters is the foundation of the pyramid is non-harming in thoughts, words, and actions. The other side is love and the other side is support. And I said, I don't think it's unreasonable to ask that people that are invited into our personal space in life have those, you know, they come with those values. They recognize those values. They know how to show up in our lives, and what we're going to gravitate towards, what we're going to invite more of into our lives. So those are just some of the areas that we covered this past week. I didn't go back and review all the replays, but I have trying to be keeping a little bit of a note what we've been covering, and I invite you, that's another thing that we covered, I'd invite you to keep notes about what you're covering and what sort of we're like on a little excavation, we're digging. So we've been in the compartment of safety. We started with safety, making the container for us to allow us to show up and be brave enough to, you know, make some hearts or some smiles or make some comments and do hearts and smiles on other people's comments. This is our world. This is our globe. Like, let's get back to the freedom of expression, and the expression is love and compassion and grace and bliss, all that beautiful stuff. And you know, on the opposite side of fear is love. So all we have to do is change our mind and let go, become aware first that we are in fear, and then look where we want to go from there. And we're the captain of our ship, and we might get some few winds that might blow us in the different directions, but that's the contrast of life. And And without life having some contrast, light and dark, it would be a little boring. Well, I think it would be a little blissful, but in reality, it'd probably be a little boring because we're here to learn. We are here to learn, and we're here to make decisions and be, have that discernment. Do we want to be in judgment, or do we want to be in grace? Do we want people to follow our rules, or are we flexible in looking at somebody else's ideas of what's important and saying, you know what, you're absolutely right. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Oh, thank you for putting up with me. Thank you, Marilyn, for putting up with me. Oh my gosh. And Amrit, thank you for being here with me. Yes. So let's go into our breath. And we talked about mantras. My goodness. So we've gone from mantra meditation into breath, into values, into boundaries, into creating safety, into hi, Andre. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We're talking about the week's recap. So all of it's on the replay. And once again, I've forgotten to introduce myself. Deborah O'Neill from blissbee.me, Integrative Holistic Health, coming to you from Vancouver, BC, or better known as Metro, the city of Metro Vancouver, called Coquitlam. Hi, Deepak. Thank you for being here. We're just getting ready to go into the meditation. So we did a recap of this week, and then we'll look at where we're going. So now that we've created the safety container, the following, we're going to expand it more into the next sort of level that the body will allow us to go into, because the body's the director of where we go in for cellular healing, where we go in for self-healing. But first and foremost, we need to create the safety. And also, we are having that internal conversation with our body on safety. So every agreement that we break with ourselves, we are creating a distrust in ourselves. Or if we're ignoring a pain that we're experiencing, yes, we talked about finding the strength in the body and the weak with the body and leaning in and working to our strengths. So we would recognize where we're feeling weak in the day. Take a little inventory, take a little walk in the body, and work with the strengths, and be gentle with grace and compassion to the weaknesses that we're experiencing. Especially as we get older, there's different joints that have been overworked along the way, and they will they deserve the grace and compassion of being that worker and that contributor to our lives and our body, and taking us on our path and our journey. So let's feel the groundedness in the seat that we're sitting on, or if we're sitting on the floor, if we're sitting on a sofa, if we're laying in a bed. Just acknowledge where you are at this moment in time and what's holding your body up. And really, we're going to focus on a grounding. So feeling the feet on the floor, feeling the sit bones, the bottom pelvic bones on your chair. And that creates the safety in the container. And one thing that's very important as we're moving through into the next level is to give the body permission to heal. Consent is such an important part of our lives. Asking people for consent, asking for consent for ourselves, asking people to ask for consent from ourselves, asking consent from others, and giving consent to our body. Giving the consent that we're listening. And we're here, and we're open to the change. We're open to letting go. We're open to letting go of the fear, inviting in more love. We're opening to working with the cells in the body, inviting the mitochondria and all the T cells, the white blood cells, our immunity to be stronger with the love that we offer and the oxygen that we breathe so deeply into our body. And we release the CO2 into the world on our exhale, and allowing it to take whatever does not serve us with it. We offer any pain, or any suffering. We offer it out for healing. We release it from our field. We breathe in the mantra so, and exhale the mantra hum. Thank you, Brooklyn. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. Inhaling so, Exhaling, hum. Feel the feet on the floor. Feel your sit bones. Give permission for any tension just to melt away. You can walk through the body. Check in with the forehead. Soften the forehead. Soften the face, the tongue, the neck, the shoulders. Soften the heart area, the region of the lungs. Allow the heart to open. Soften the abdomen, the hips. Soften the thighs, the knees, the calves, the feet. Soften the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arm, the hands. Allow the breath into all those cells with love to emit light, to emit bliss. Become aware of what you're feeling in your body. How different does it feel? Is it comfortable or uncomfortable? We talked about bringing habits into our life where we can check in and bring this deep diaphragmatic breathing into our lives. Every time we see the sun, every time we touch some water or drink some water, little cues that invite us to do and be what's most important to us. To nourish, to fortify. This organism truly is simply just an organism, and we are its keeper. With full unconditional love, no judgment, no right or wrong, no fault or blame. I'll be quiet now. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and sitting with me. Thank you for walking this journey with me. And I look forward to seeing our tremendous outcome. Wow. The grace and gift of this moment. Inhale, so. Feel your ribs on the side. Exhale, hum. Stay as long as you like. Leave when you need. I'll close with a chime with the bells and a namaste. 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. With love. I love you. Thank you for sitting with me. My offering is to ask you if you may offer one of your sittings today, one of your meditations, to somebody who really needs it. Hold them in their heart, in your heart. And send your love to them as you sit in peace, and hope that they can sit in peace or find their way. Share a replay, like the video. Go to www.blissbe.me. Please leave your name and your email so that I can be in contact with you when I go live on my website, which will be a delicious portal of health, healing, and bliss. Thank you for being here. I love you. Thank you.